everyone, this is Sean, and this is the first video of the Enterprise B that I am filming in my new model building room, as you can see behind me. So this is the model building room in my new apartment, which I moved into on February 1st, and this is the intro to part 9 of the 1400 scale Starcraft Enterprise B. So what I'm going to do in this video throughout part 9 is I'm actually going to put the Aztec decals on the top saucer because the dark blue modeling is just too stark. And if you see how subtle the Aztec is around the saucer rim here, should be no problem at all to put it on the ship itself. So that's what I'm going to do using the Aztec parts. So just give me a moment to find them and I'll be right back. Okay, thanks for waiting. I'm back again. So as you see here on this part of the guide, you can see 5, 3, 1, 2, and 4, which are the central Aztec sections of the Enterprise B. And you can see those Aztec sections here. Just give me a moment to shift it away from the shadows a bit. I'll hold it up. Okay, so let's see. Let's find part 1. Here's part number 1. I labeled them all. So what I will do is I will put part 1 centered on the front part of the ship. Kind of like that. And then the other parts all around it. And then once all those parts are down, that'll be about it for the top saucer. Because then I can start working on the pinstripes. So I will have, but before I do anything too drastic with the pinstripes, you want to take a look at number 4 here. You can see that number 4 on the Aztec decal set actually has the pinstripes with the name of the Enterprise B, so you can see right there, embedded in the decal. So unlike decal number 14 or 12, which you can see on the regular Excelsior decal here, I'm not going to have to insert the names manually. I'll be able to actually put them on the ship. That'll be really great, because I realized if I'm going to put the decals onto the nacelles, see these Enterprise B, let's focus here, focus, there, that does a little better. See, there's the Enterprise B decals, which are going to go on the ends of the nacelles. They're going to go on the nacelles before I put the nacelles on the ship. You want to have all the separate pieces assembled before you do that. And of course, won't be using the Lakota on this one. No, sir. I'll be using the Enterprise B. But I am keeping, like I keep all the little bits of decals and everything, just in case, because if you look here, you will see the phaser decals. Now there are 7. It's strange that there are 7, but if you look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so there are 5 on the top saucer. All right, so there's only 5. Bottom saucer, well, it already has its 5, as you can see. So I don't know where the extra one goes. Maybe it's just a spare. Anyway, that is definitely decal number 74, because you can see it here on the guide, decal 74. But what I try to do first, if I can, I'll put the Aztec decals down on the top saucer. And if I don't see any hatches, don't see any of the red hatches. So I'm just going to leave them as they are and put down the Aztec decals, and hopefully that'll reduce the modeling on the top saucer. I know you can't really tell at this angle, but if you hold it like that, you certainly can tell. But if you go like this, carefully, see, you can see the faint gold, but it's just so subtle that it's hardly worth keeping. But anyway, I'll have the pinstripes that go along here. Looks like they go along here. There you go. So that should work. I don't think there are any sections of the decals that are required from the large section, because as you see, all that's left from the large section is the stripes I didn't use, partially because they got damaged, but also because I wanted to color them. And then there's the Nacelle grills, which I didn't end up using because they didn't stay attached, so I just took the Folk Art Steel Gray and I colored it there, and it worked perfectly. So that's good. So I have the decal plan for the Enterprise B. So that'll work perfectly. And everything should work out great. And then once I have all the parts properly decaled and everything, I will then attach the nacelles into the hull, knowing that they're already have the Enterprise B on them. And then I can put on, as you can see, I have the Aztec decal number 33, which will go here on the top of the secondary hull's nacelle mount. And then I'll be able to align 31 and 32 on top of the ship. Now, you see, it's good. It's handy. It clearly says 31 goes on the front, 32 goes on the back. So that's excellent. And I think, look, you see that orange dot in the center of 33? Well, now I know why there are 7 phaser decals here. Because there's 5 for the top saucer. And then there is a couple more. Now I know there's one for the center hull in the nacelle strut. Oh, wait, there it is. There it is. Look. There you go. See? If you look on the Excelsior picture, you see right above the shuttle bay, there's the other phaser. And if you remember when the Lakota was firing at the Defiant, it fired from the top saucer, it fired from here, and it even fired from the back. So that's perfect. That's why there are 7 phaser decals left. So that's perfect. That explains everything. And I will have some more work to do on the ship. So that is the intro for part 9. That's part 9A, I would say, of the Enterprise B build. So I will be back with part 9B when I start applying the decals. And I'll talk to you all then. So, I'll just finish this off by giving you a slight panorama of the model building room. So, there's the model building table. There are the model display shelves. And what I'll do is I'll get in the back corner so that you have a good view of the model supplies. One second. There, you get a good view of the Star Trek model kit shelf and some Star Wars from bottom to top. And then you get a good view from top to bottom of the other model shelf with all the models on it. And then from the doorway, you see all the space I still have on the floor of the model room, culminating in the model table with my most recent project on it. So that's all for now, and I'll see you later when I work on part 9B of the 1400 scale Enterprise B build. Talk to you all later and hope you enjoy the rest of your week. This is Monday, February 14th for future reference. Bye-bye. Hello everyone, this is Sean, and this is part 9B of the 1400 scale Enterprise B, I know, part B, Enterprise B, refit build. And what I'm doing today is I'm going to be working on the top Saucer Aztecs, because earlier today I did the other two Nacelle decals on the, see, there, and there. So what I tried to do is from top to bottom, tried to make them even and then straighten them out. As you can see here, trying to make them even from top to bottom. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on the Saucer Aztecs. As you can see here, I'm going to start with number 1 in the center so I can make sure everything's aligned. And then I'll work on numbers 2 and number 3, and that way I'll know how much I have to trim off of these decals to get them to fit on the ship. And the strange thing is, they don't exactly seem to fit the grid lines. That's kind of strange. Like, look at that. You can see the grid line here, and yet if you lay this model decal down, it doesn't fit the grid line. I'm just going to experiment with something. Just give me 1 second. No, that doesn't work either. That's strange. Oh, I got it. I had just misaligned it slightly. There you go. There you are. Got it. Okay, good. Anyway, I'm going to go warm up the decal water, and I will be right back to start applying the decals. See you in a few minutes. Thanks for waiting. I'm back again. Water's all warmed up, and I am going to start with decal number 1 right here. Yeah, it's decal 1. It's going to be front and center. So actually, I'm going to switch it around so that from this angle you can see everything. Soak decal 1 while I wait. There, should be able to see everything that way. Decal 1 will be centered. There. Let's just take a look at how it looks in the camera. Oh, well, all right. Just see, I forgot how big the table is now, so give me a few seconds here. I'll shift the camera a bit so you can see the there. That's better. There you go. There you are. So I'm gonna get the decal ready, and once it's ready to apply, I'll come back. I forgot, when the water's warm enough, the decal doesn't need much encouragement to be applied at all. So just have to wet the front surface here, front central surface. There we go. Steering right at it, so that should work. Now the good thing is the stripe is already in place because I did the outer band already. And I painted the phasers days ago, so Won't have to worry about them coming off. Here we go. Yeah, all right. There. There we go. So let's pat it down carefully. Well, actually, I don't pat it down. I kind of just set the toilet paper on the decal, and I carefully go like that now. Because of the phaser bump wrinkle, it's going to need some micro set here. I just use an old brush for that. And the good thing is it's already going over a decal that's been applied already many weeks ago, actually. Wow, that's beautiful. Now, I don't know if you can tell, but if you look carefully, you can still see the pearlescent effect through the decal, especially when you angle to the light a certain way. So I'm just going to get it into camera range, and oh yeah, see? There! You can still see the pearl, the light blue and the gold. But if you do this, you do not see the harsh blue anymore. It's been taken care of by the decal. That's perfect. So I'm going to put on a couple more and I'll be back. And I'm back. I've put on decal number 2, as you can see here. It's going on quite well. It's not as subtle as the end ring, but then again, it is several weeks younger than the end ring. So what I'll do now is I will put on decal 3. And I'm going to actually move the camera a little closer. Actually move it onto the hobby mat here. Just let me loosen the, there we go. There you go. Now you can see it. Okay, so decal 3 is this one. Goes on the front left saucer. I'm doing that so I know exactly where the others fit and how to cut them, but I am going to have to prop. In fact, I'm going to do that now. Just 1 second. I know, I'm using my Star Wars paperweight to prop up the ship. There you go. There you are. There we go. There you are. Shift it a bit. There we go. Okay, so that's good. Got all the stuff you need for the decal. Propping it up and everything. Soak it in the water. Soak the ship itself. I can use the brush to do that. I don't have to use the Q-tip. I just noticed that now. You learn new things all the time in the hobby. But my favorite part is putting on the Aztec decals, especially when they're flat surface like this. That's why I did all the hard parts first, so I could do the fun part, the flat part, second. And all you have to do is brace it on the, yes, it's a Star Wars paperweight. Yeah, as you can tell. 1 second. There. Now you can see the sticker. See? That's the Star Wars paperweight in a Star Trek model building video. But it works. It holds it at exactly the right angle. That's perfect, because when I put the nacelles on, and I put the cardboard underneath to hold the nacelles in the proper alignment, that'll be the great test. There you go. Okay, so there's decal number 3, and you can see the grid lines here. So it'll go from there all the way over to there, just like over here. Mirror image, actually. Although it's weird because that decal looks a little smaller than the grid line area. But then again, one of these decals can probably overlap to compensate, especially since there's a big cutout because of the impulse engines. So let's see how we'll do here. Alright, so it's coming off the backing. A little more. There we go. There we go. Just have to align it a bit. Bit more water. Use the water to loosen it up a bit if it won't shift exactly into position. There you go. See? There you are. And once you get it in position, you just blot out all the water with the toilet paper, because sometimes paper towel is too rough. I just thought of something else. I have that metal thing there, which is probably going to brace it at exactly the correct angle. So just give me one moment. I'll be... Alright, so I'm back. Here we are. You can see the model here. Trying to get a good angle so that I can work on the next section. There. That'll show me applying the other section here. So that's the back right, which will be number 4. Number 4. There we go. I'm going to get number 4 out of the water because I just remembered something. I have to figure out how much of the decal needs to be trimmed before I actually apply it. So I got it on the ship. Gotta lay it flat. And you'll see how much you pretty well have to trim out around the impulse engine. Or what you could do, what I could do, is I could apply the decal, and let it dry, and then trim it out over once it's dry. That's what I'll do. That way you don't second guess anything. It's a lot better to do it that way. So I'll be back once they're applied, and we'll see how it looks. See you in a few minutes. Alright, I'm back. About to put on the last decal here. Gotta get the surface all ready. Not to worry, I see where the overlap is on the impulse engines, but what I will do with that is I will simply trim the decal off with an X-Acto blade. It's actually a very small section. The good thing is, it gets in that section right in between the impulse engine and the hull. So that way you're only trimming off the tiniest section. That's perfect. Alright, should be ready to apply now. Just have to get a bit of the decal that folded under itself. What you do is you fold it up a bit more, and you can usually get the rest of it aligned properly. That way, with the tweezers. But I'll do that off camera and I'll be back. Okay, so there is the entire top saucer of the Enterprise B all finished. In a couple days, when I do the side pinstripe trim, I will carefully trim off the overhang on the impulse engines, and all I'll be left with is the decals. But I'm pretty happy with that. Look at it from this angle. That's pretty good. I mean, it's more subtle. You can still see some of the darker blue, but the decals have kind of blended it all in. And if you look, I don't know which angle we have to look at to see the pearl through the decal. Ah, there we go. You can still see the pearl. Well, that's great. That's the best of both. You have the Aztec pattern and you can still see the pearl through it. Well, that's wonderful. So that is, until the nacelles are attached, the top of the ship all done. I mean, once I attach the nacelles into here, and I'll use a little bit of this cardboard to brace it under there at the proper angle. Once the nacelles are secure, then I can put on the Aztec pattern here, which actually you can see there, and then the front stripes. Because once the nacelles are in, then you know how to align the front stripes correctly. And with the nacelle attachment done, it'll be just a matter of doing the front red stripes and the registries. And then the Enterprise B will be done, and that'll be time for just the try to fashion the stand so the ship will actually sit on it. So I think given this will be the end of part 9B. I think it'll be the end of part 9 because all that's left is the registries and the stripes. So that'll be the first video of part 10, which I'll film next week. Next week will be Monday, February 18th. But of course, because I'm about 6 or so weeks behind, you probably won't see this until beginning of April. Anyway, talk to you all later. Hope you enjoyed part B, and we'll see you here next time.